Now, as I was thinking about what to speak about today, I've recalled July 2020, if you can think back that far, when I did my Take Back the Flag rally. And looking back, it really feels like one of those moments when Justice Southbury really began to understand itself. For those who were not there in the early days of Justice Southbury, that's okay, we'll forgive you. But it was around the 6th week, so we're on week 317. We can take it back to week 6-ish. We had one of our first really vocal counter-protesters, or one of our most memorable vocal counter-protesters. It was a man carrying a large American flag and pacing back and forth as we're all rallying here with a growl on his face. And he was shouting overtly racist lies. Not just overtly racist, but they were also lies. It was so obviously just not productive in any way to this movement and to really any movement. So the following week, it was Independence Day weekend, and I delivered what my dad and I have now come to call the Take Back the Flag speech. And the speech was really rooted in this idea that patriotism does not mean believing America is perfect, and that actually protesting America's greatest weaknesses is America's greatest strength. I talked about how that man did not represent true patriotism, because patriotism has never meant saying America is good enough as it is. Patriotism means, and always has meant, go further, America. After that speech, the Take Back the Flag speech, and after many conversations about what comes next, we realized we wanted to do targeted, focused speeches about the purpose of this whole thing. It wasn't quite Justice Southbury yet. We hadn't named it that. We didn't know, we certainly, I don't think, knew that we'd be here 317 weeks later. But we knew it was becoming something. We were asking ourselves, where do we fit into American history? And what it meant to be part of a tradition built on the belief that America is not perfect, but there have always been people dedicated to making it better. For some, better means making more money. For others, it means creating opportunities for more people. That Take Back the Flag speech was formative for our understanding of this group, because it forced us to think seriously about our mission and about our vision and the future of what would become Justice Southbury. So my dad was actually driving on the Major Deegan while I was up in Ithaca as we were having these conversations, and we talked on the phone for hours, just imagining a future that neither of us could fully see yet, but we knew it would be there. That focus on structure and purpose and development became a huge part of what Justice Southbury is today. And a lot of that was a me and my dad thing. My dad and I arrived at these ideas together largely because of the relationship we have always had together. We've been writing and creating together for as long as I can remember. We've been putting on plays together since I was probably 5 years old, maybe. We have sung countless times together, albeit not particularly well. We danced ballet on stage together for 16 years. And this guy had never done ballet before, but he did it because he wanted to be closer to his girls. Yeah, clap. He was great too. We spent countless hours brainstorming ideas, telling stories, and making each other laugh. We are constantly being told we should start a podcast together, which is either a great compliment or just a polite way of telling us to please stop talking so much. And there's something special about creating with your family. And I would make a very similar speech about my mom on Mother's Day. Right there. Shout out Kathy. When you create alongside the people who know you best, over time you learn how to build something together that neither of you could have created alone. It reminds me, and my dad had reminded me of this, of Nat King Cole and his daughter Natalie singing Unforgettable together. There is a unique power in that harmony that comes from building something alongside the people who have watched you grow. And as I thought about Father's Day this week, I realized that what I'm most grateful for is not that my dad has raised me and taught me exactly what to think, but how to think. How to ask questions, how to wrestle with difficult ideas, and how to disagree without losing respect for one another. And that is also what I hope Justice Southbury represents, and I think it does. In many ways, Justice Southbury was born out of a father-daughter relationship. But what has sustained it for 6 years is a community that has embraced those same values that my dad and I ground our own relationship on. So on Father's Day, today, I'm grateful for my dad, of course. And more broadly, I'm grateful for fatherhood itself. I'm grateful for the fathers and the father figures who encourage us and challenge us and walk beside us as we figure out who we are. And I'm especially grateful that the values that have shaped my relationship with my dad, curiosity, respect, humor, patience, and a commitment to making things better, to name a few, that I see reflected in this community every week. So happy Father's Day to all of the father figures in our lives, and for me, a special happy Father's Day to my amazing dad. Thank you for helping me become the person I am and for helping build the foundation on which Justice Southbury still stands today.